We're back shooting it with Schumann after 2 Niner victories, with both the defense holding the opponent under double digits. Mike, talk about that shutdown in Cleveland.
Well, we were talking about it off the air. The culture the 49ers have developed, they don't beat themselves. You know, Cleveland had 3 turnovers, gave them 21 points, fumbled a punt inside the 10-yard line. It was just ridiculous. And that's how the Niners win games, you know. So we talked about it. They have a bye coming up this week. But I tell you, the defense, like you said, and the special teams, probably the best special teams coach and play they've had since.
And like Shanahan. Attention, maybe.
Right.
Like they actually care about special
Coach
teams.
Coach Saleh brought, was it Bear?
Boyer.
Coach Boyer. From the Jets. And between he and Sky Moore, who's having a career year, I'll tell you, it makes such a difference. You get a kickoff return, a punt return for big yardage. It just fires the team up like nothing else.
And huge.
Yeah, it was a great win against Cleveland. Obviously, we've been gone. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. We didn't talk about the Carolina game. We'll hit on that real quick, too. I think, obviously, big win against Carolina. Carolina, beat, obviously, the Rams this week.
Good football team.
Right, good football team, right? And so we took care of Carolina and the Browns. Now, sitting at 9-4 after this game, I think this is probably the best the team has maybe looked all year since that Thursday night game against the Rams where they won. And we're, like you said, Mike, we're on a bye week. Finally, feels like it's been a long time.
Been a whole season almost.
Yeah, and now we're kind of sitting ready for playoff pictures. So I think, I think Brock Purdy played a great game, made sure to throw the ball out of bounds. We talked about this a little off air. I think Shanahan may have had a little conversation with him. Nick doesn't think so. He just has to know.
Hey, Brock's got good awareness.
Yeah, he told him to play like Mac Jones.
I trust Brock.
Yeah, he said, hey, we got Mac, okay? So you got to figure this out. Played really well in that game. Special teams looks amazing. Some of these guys they got at the trade deadline too. Like people were saying, hey, they didn't make any big moves, but 2 defensive guys are really looking good. It's Smith and Farrell, right?
Right.
Keyon White.
And Keyon White,
also,
right?
Yeah.
I think these guys are looking really good. So I'm excited about, the bye week.
But I think, too, when Bosa, Fred Warner, all the star players went down, you're seeing young players get a chance, and they're developing. So this is key as we go down the stretch here. 3 tough games coming up. You got a bye to get healthy. So it's been fun to watch these guys develop. They're getting better. They're getting more confidence as a team. And I tell you, this is the best I've ever seen Kyle Shanahan coach in his 10 years there with the 49ers.
Potential coach of the year candidate?
And he's never won it, which is he's never
got some tough competition. Yeah. But he should be up there. I want to say Malik Mustafa, like that guy is a terror in the back.
Brings it.
He brings the wood. And so he did not play to start the year, was recovering, off-season knee surgery. Kind of slowly integrated back, but last game in Cleveland, you saw him playing fast and free, and that guy is a difference maker in the back end. And then game before, Jair Brown, who we were ready to give up on him.
Exactly.
He finds a way to get 2 big plays, 2 picks. Like, the secondary has really been the strength of the defense all year, in my opinion. Now they're starting to get some contributions from no-name D-line guys, that it was great. We were all kind of like trade deadline. All right, John Lynch doesn't believe in the team, right? Like he didn't give us a chance. Turns out they knew something about Keyon White that we didn't know, right? That's a former 2nd-round pick. They liked him. And the Niners D-line coach, Korak, he always finds a way to get the most out of guys. You notice like guys have career years with the Niners, go somewhere else, and never
disappear,
never repeat that. So I got to give him some props too. And now we're looking at a bye week with the Titans on the other side.
So let's be honest here. Tennessee Titans are probably the worst team in the league. Okay, so
one of the worst ever.
Yeah, or the worst.
But those can also be the most dangerous.
True, right? So
year.
Okay, so listen, I think get some rest during the bye week. I think Nick has brought up a lot of great points. I think the team's starting to kind of peak maybe right now. Okay, so you get the bye week and then you get Tennessee. Okay, so listen, I think unless something really crazy happens, you're sitting at 10-4. Okay, after this week, you're going to be a guaranteed 6 seed. Best case scenario, if Seattle and the Rams lose, you move to the 2 seed. Now, those things probably won't happen, right? But Chicago and Green Bay play each other, right? A lot of tough games this week where the Niners are going to move to at least a 6 seed. Okay, best case scenario, the 2 seed. And then you got Tennessee and then 3 really tough games going down the stretch. So if you look at a little bit of breakdown here, right? Okay, if they, basically win 2 games, probably like a 6 or 7 seed. If they win 3 games, probably a 2 or 5 seed. I think if they win all 4 going down the stretch, probably a 1 seed in the NFC. It could happen,
Well,
right?
there's never been this much parity in the league
Yeah.
in both conferences. Rams lost to Carolina, as you mentioned. Colts finally lost a game. So all of a sudden, it's up for grabs like it's never been in probably 20 years. I've never seen it this open.
Yeah.
So, and like we say, the Super Bowl's at Levi Stadium. So weirder
Easy
things
travel.
happen.
Easy travel.
Weirder.
Rod's
things
got
have
tickets
happened.
for sure. Rod would have tickets for sure. The Super Bowl.
And let's talk about the Panthers, though. So Bryce Young looks absolutely horrible against the Niners at Levi. Turns around and looks like the best quarterback in the league, shredding the Rams. Panthers, fun fact, the only team to be double-digit dogs twice and win outright.
Wow.
Ooh.
That's
So
crazy.
it was 10.5, right?
10.5 this week.
Yeah.
LA smoked them, right? Got into Stafford. And they did that without their 2 best DBs. Horn was out with an injury, and Morig, the safety, was out with the nut punch.
Yeah.
So
Jesus, Jenny's the nut punch.
he nut punches Jennings, gets suspended, and they still turn Stafford over. So I was impressed. Shout out to Bryce Young for helping the Niners 2 weeks in a row. Threw it to the Niners 1 week. The next week goes out and burns the Rams. So looking like a true Niner MVP candidate, Bryce Young.
Well, I've talked about it all season. It doesn't matter who you play. They can be considered a weak team. Anybody can win any given Sunday. And because if you're in the NFL, you can play. So that's what we're seeing at Bryce Young all of a sudden.
So before we get to this week's games and obviously the
There's some
future
good ones
for the Niners here, I'm going to give a quick shout out to just announced this morning. Roger Craig is one of the 3 finalists.
Five finalists. You can pick 3.
Senior. Yeah, you
up
can
to
pick
3,
right?
Yeah.
Roger Craig.
But only one gets in of the seniors.
Is it the only one that
I
gets
think
in?
it's only
Oh,
one.
I thought they
Mike,
said
are you on that
3 of the
list, Mike?
5.
Yeah, I didn't make it again.
Not a
You're
hop
thinking my
nom.
50th year.
Not
after.
a hop nom.
Yeah, okay. But shout out to Roger Craig, the first ever 1,000-yard rusher and 1,000-yard receiver in the same season, right?
CMC's going to do it for a second time this year.
CMC, and the only other guy is CMC and Marshall Faulk, right? Okay. Roger Craig, a 3-time Super Bowl winner, right? 84, 88, and 89. Okay. Shout out to him. I hope he makes the Hall of Fame this year. One of the legendary 49ers who doesn't get enough credit as probably maybe one of the first.
Those are guys from your era.
Yeah.
Kenny Anderson is up too.
Yeah,
Did
he
you see that?
deserves to be in.
Both of those guys should
There's a
be,
lot of
too.
players that should be in. Tommy Novus in there. You know,
Yeah.
some the senior division, but I'm pretty sure it's only one senior. So
You might be
Roger deserves to be in there. There was nobody like him.
Yeah.
I know.
And he
First
started
of
out
its
as a
kind.
fullback.
Yeah.
Then he
Oh,
moved
man,
with
that's
Wendell
great.
Tyler, I think it was. Then he moved back to the halfback position and just tore the league up.
So, Raj, I know you're a big fan of the show, so good luck in the Hall of Fame.
Shout out to Raj.
And I think we have to talk about Brandon Aiyuk real quick.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
You know,
Okay.
so all of a sudden we find out he had $26 million voided because he wasn't doing what he's supposed to do in the contract.
In July.
Come to the meetings, go to the weight.
Go to do your rehab.
Missing his rehab.
Man, just
And
simple
then,
things, dude.
then he says he doesn't care about it. And, then he starts coming to practice. Then he stops showing up again. He and Shanahan never got along. I'm not sure what it was.
Yeah.
But he's got to get back on the field if he wants to get traded. Because if I'm another team, I got to see him play. I'm not just bringing him in and let him pass a physical and see if he can still be a wide receiver.
We talked about it. I think there's 2 really, really interesting components of this story, which never, this type of stuff never happens.
I don't ever remember
Ever
it
happens.
Ever.
Number 1, it happened in July, but the story doesn't hit until November. How does that happen? I have no idea, especially in today's age.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my point. Like, someone's always saying something. So that's a shock to me. Number two, we talked about it. The NFLPA, the Players Association, will fight everything. And Aiyuk says, I don't care. Let it go. Now he's passed the statute. Can't file an appeal on it. He just let $27 million leave.
All these old players are freaking.
I am shocked
Tell me about
that
it.
this happened.
Or maybe he feels like, I'll tell you what, I'll give him back $26 million, then he'll keep me because he knows he screwed up. So maybe he didn't fight it for that reason.
Who knows?
Does he want to stay with the 49ers? That kind of becomes the question.
So here was the thing, right? They had the contentious contractual negotiations. The Niners had 3 separate trades
set up.
You can go, dude. And
Yeah.
he was the one that said, I won't sign an extension there. I won't sign it. So he begged Kyle and Lynch to re-sign him to stay, and then turns around and I just don't get it.
And it might, as we talked about earlier, open up the door for Jennings to stay with that $26 million now donated back to the.
Either way, Ayuk's getting some bad advice.
And you know what? No offense, Mike, because I know you're a wide receiver in the league, but the wide receivers are always the crazy ones. What's the deal?
It's
He's got
pretty true.
Antonio
It's
Brown,
very true. T.O.
T.O.
Well,
I mean, all of these guys.
Ocho
Take
Cinco.
as many shots to the head as anybody. Plus, we're split out from all the action.
Yeah.
We don't feel like part of it, you know. We're just out there.
You and the kickers,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. So just get open out there. So, no, I've never seen anything like it. And
You think he can really come back and play this year after all that drama?
I just think when I was watching him run and work out, he looked like he was ready to play.
He
So
looks like he's ready.
it sounds to me like they're keeping him off the field. They don't want to get him injured again.
Well,
and
the
be
story
responsible.
Glazer said was all up to Brandon
Right.
at
So,
this point.
We'll see if he wants to come back or not. But
I'll take him at this point. We got
I think they-
4 games left.
Right.
Come on over,
be a great
BA.
addition.
Especially with no guaranteed money. Go
Yeah,
out there and
yeah,
play because you
exactly.
can either trade him or
Right.
worst case.
So-
But he
They're
has
coming
to.
out to
I think you're right. I think he has to audition for whatever money
Whatever,
he's going to
whoever.
make next year, whether that be free agency, trade, something.
And it's something else that Kyle kind of kept together. You know,
Yeah.
the team probably knew about it,
Yeah.
and it didn't affect them at all. You know, so that's a great job on Kyle's part to keep this away. All right, this is going on, but we still have to do what we have
And
to
it
do.
always seems like the Niners just have a stable locker room. For some reason, like they got the veterans. I think Trent being in there,
There you go.
Kittle, and all these veterans.
We got some good.
Yeah.
That's
good
the culture I
leadership.
talk about.
Yeah.
That, you know, you don't do stupid things on the field or off the field, and you got to give Kyle credit. So
Yeah. So that's a good point. So, okay, so let's week 14 here, right? So the Niners are 9-4. They got a bye week, but some big games I got written down here. Okay, I got, first off, I think there's probably like 3 elimination games for teams this week.
What about the Thursday game to start?
Cowboys Lions, right?
Yeah.
First game. So,
Cowboys with a big
Cowboys now are good
Yeah.
again?
oh my gosh.
How did that happen?
Man, you hear it from the Cowboys fans. I mean, it's like they won the Super Bowl. They're 6-6-1. Let's calm down here. Okay, but the Cowboys Lions game, whoever loses this game is probably
That's
out.
it's probably out.
Yeah, this is like an elimination game.
Big game.
And the Lions, Ben Johnson, their offensive coordinator, became the head coach of the Bears.
They're the
what
best
happens
team.
when you lose.
He's kind of like me. Did you see him with the shirt off?
I know,
A little bit, you know?
Well, apparently everybody got free hot dogs if you took
Yeah,
it.
and he waited 3 weeks.
So anyway, that's the difference in the Lions this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Cowboys Lions, we got Bengals versus Bills, right? So the Bengals are crazy, still in the hunt here to win that
Joe
division,
Cool's back.
right? So
Joey's back.
they win, they're probably still alive, but if they lose, they're out. And then Texans versus Chiefs. Who would have known the Chiefs are on the bubble here? Like literally, they're probably not going to get in unless they can run the slate, and they will be out
Houston
of the playoff
is
picture.
good defense.
Yeah,
It's a
DeMarco
top defense
Ryan,
in the
right?
league, yeah.
D'Amico Ryan, excuse me, right?
Those boys off the end, though, Johnson and Hunter. Boy.
Yeah, that and Cleveland's
Man,
defense.
Anderson, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, Anderson.
And Will Anderson and Hunter on the other side, they
Good
are
play.
ferocious. The other big game this week, the AFC South, all of a sudden, is a battle. You got 2 8-4 teams, Colts, Jags,
Yep.
playing
Jags.
for first place in the AFC South.
I don't look at
And
that
then
twice.
Bears Packers, you touched on it early.
Yep.
That's a big one.
Pats
Who's the
all
best
suck
team in the
back.
NFC?
I'm telling you, and Caleb Williams. I mean, look what Ben Johnson did with him. That guy was so out of control, and now they've won 8 or 9 straight. I think.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, basically for first place, right? The Packers versus the Bears. Another game I got on the schedule: Eagles versus Chargers. The Eagles have started to look.
They're fading.
calling for Hurts is, maybe backup. I mean, it feels like Philadelphia always has this problem every year, but this year seems a little different. And then probably the most boring game of the week, but it's still important: Steelers versus Ravens. I hate watching those games, by the way. It is
it's the most physical division there
it is. But usually those games end up like 9-6 type of stuff.
Well, Mike Thomas never.
They are chanting for fire Tomlin.
He's never had a losing record in like 60.
And so the Bills, you watch that game where the Bills ran the ball down the Steelers' throat?
Yes.
They called they showed the tape. They ran the same play 26 times.
With
the Steelers couldn't stop it.
With 2 offensive linemen out. So just random guys they put in there.
They're 2 starting tackles, and they ran the same play 26 times.
Not making an adjustment.
The Steelers are supposed to be, a defensive powerhouse. That is wild to me.
You think he's lost the locker room, Mike? Maybe after all these years?
I think he might have been. Aaron Rodgers, it seems like, everywhere he's gone since he left the Packers.
He's an enigma.
He's a cancer in the lives. He's and it's starting to show. He looks like he's 41 years old.
Yeah, 42.
Yeah,
I just turned 42.
I don't know.
Hey, listen, 42, 43-year-old guy. You start, your back starts turning a little bit.
You're only hitting the 320 off the tee now.
Exactly. I mean, you kind of like,
and his face got broken by Bosa.
Right.
Yeah, that nose looked pretty bad. But yeah, I mean, I think. Yeah, Rodgers probably washed up. So,
well, with all this, you can just feel the parity. I mean, it's just up for grabs. This year.
Yeah, this late in the season,
make it exciting.
Cool.
Not only late in the season, but in the playoffs.
Yeah.
No, I think it's going to be great. I mean, this week's going to be like one of those weeks where you sit and Niners are happy to be at home, just kind of watching.
Yeah, I love it.
And but there's going to be some great games this week. So. Yeah, I mean, let's kind of touch a little bit on kind of the playoff scenario and going down the line here for the 49ers now, right? So we got Tennessee after the bye, and then
I'm calling that a win.
Calling that a win.
We're at 10-4 going into those top 3. I say you just got to find a way to steal one of those 3. You're at 11-6 to end the year. And you're in the playoff.
Who are the final? Who's after?
You got the Colts.
Colts
in Indy on a Monday night. You come back for the Bears at home on a Sunday night, and then you got the Seahawks at home to be determined.
Yeah.
So you got 3.
You got a real schedule.
You got 3 tough games.
They've had a little bit of a kind of an easier stretch, I'd say here, but those last 3 games are going to be pretty brutal. So the thing is, though, is like, can they? Like you said, maybe get 1 out of the last 3, but if they pull off 2 out of the last 3. You get 12 wins. I mean, 12 wins would be crazy to be a 7 seed. I don't think that'd happen. But
if you can get up in that middle seed area, it's a lot.
Well, you probably get a chance to host at home, maybe.
Yeah, maybe the 4-5 game. Maybe you host at home. It's like, and then you start looking at it like, I think the team's gonna get healthy. I think they're looking pretty good. Then you start thinking like, who do you want to play in the playoffs, right? That's kind of the thing. Like, if you look at it, let's just say week 14, would you rather pick the Rams, Seattle, the Bears?
Who would you rather not play?
I don't want to play
any
Seattle.
of those 3. Any of those 3.
I don't want to play Seattle. I think Seattle is starting to peak.
Rams still scare me a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd rather play the Rams in Seattle. But
Rams would be my least. I think I'd want to play.
Before last week, they were the favorite to me in the whole league.
Because I think I always love playing the Packers. I think they always own the Packers. The Bears,
I'm okay playing the Bears.
If you have them at home, I'm okay playing the Bears.
I'm okay playing the Bears. I'm okay playing the Packers, although Micah Parsons is a little scary.
Yeah.
I think I'm okay playing the Eagles after what I've seen. You can run the ball on them.
Yeah.
They're not going to threaten you on the outside. I mean, Dallas is a little scary the way they've looked.
They have a lot of talent
Kansas
on
City.
that team, and they're just starting to kind of merge.
So you hope they probably don't get in. Maybe, this week, maybe the Lions take them out. I mean, I think if Dallas loses this week, they're out. Definitely. They can't get in unless Philadelphia. I don't even think there's, mathematically with the loss.
I think they play again one more time.
They do, but I think the Eagles have got 8 wins already. And then I think that tie, maybe, I don't know. Mathematically, they could probably still do it. But yeah, I mean, I think like you mentioned, Mike, earlier, I think the NFC, I think even the AFC looks wide open this year.
It's kind of exciting.
It is
I
great.
love it.
Normally this time of year it's been decided.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so I think it's great for the fans too. And I'm going to take the Niners this week.
Oh,
First
The
time.
bye
don't
week?
tease them,
They're going to
Mike.
win the
Don't tease
bye.
them.
We're going to win the bye.
Mike says we're going to win the bye and we're going to move up. Okay. Way to go.
I like it. I
I
like
need
it.
a week to
Big
pick
prediction.
them.
And the Niners cover on the bye.
So we got 2 more weeks probably till Christmas. So we will be back next week to kind of go over what happens this week, as well as predictions for the Tennessee game and exciting season.
Go Niners.
Go Niners in the bye.